people are going to be attracted to what they see online. Start your notes off with that. People will be attracted to what they see online. That's just a fact. Today, if you don't exist on media, you do that. Your business does not exist. Not only does your business not exist, but people look at you as weird. You're weird at the end of the day. And why would you say that, Coach? Is that mean? No, it's not mean to say that you're weird, because at the end of the day, people need to see what you have before they actually make a purchase. So that's how I want you to think about putting out content online, is that all of your content should be things that's going to make people more interested in wanting to learn about what you have, or wanting to have or desire your product or service. Look at your content like the trailer to a movie. So if you're putting out a video on IGTV, that should be enough. Somebody should want to see that and want to learn more. If you're putting out an interesting quote, if you're going live, whatever you're doing, people should be watching what you have, and they should be saying, "Oh, that's interesting. I want to learn more. Oh, you know what? That was a good point. Oh, you know what? I didn't know that." And the more ahas you give people, and the more things that people discover. So like, and that's coaching and speaking. If you have a hard product or service, then you understand that there's certain things you got to put out. There's certain stories you got to tell. There's certain before and afters you got to show. You got to show with celebrities. So it's different things that you can do if you're not a coach or speaker, but you know, the core people I focus on is my influences, right? So for us, it's important that where if somebody's going to spend money to coach with us, they need to see a preview of what the coaching is going to look like. If somebody is going to want us to speak to their audience, or if we want to go out and get speaking engagements, people, the first thing somebody's going to do is they're going to go online, they're going to go to your social media accounts, and they're going to see, what is this person already speaking about? Am I going to vibe with this person? Are they going to get in front of my audience, and are they going to strip naked and turn it? I don't know. What are they going to do in front of my audience, right? Are they going to get in front of my audience and they just going to start cursing like a sailor? I got a congregation. Am I just going to get any old speaker to come in and speak to the congregation and they cursing up a storm? So when it comes to you creating opportunities for yourself, it's going to come down to the content that you put out. And that content that you put out has to be something that's going to make people want to gravitate towards you and want to learn more. If that makes sense, go ahead. I think through content in a few different ways. I think about it in terms of educational content, right? So one is principle based. That's a lot of the type of content that we're used to, meaning there's something that I need to teach you, and so let me teach you what these strategies are, right? That's a lot of execution based content. Another type of content that I create is actually is definitely more I like interview type of content too. So this is where every so often I will post me interviewing somebody, right? So I interview people sometimes as part of the PCS program, or like I did a interview last year that everybody loved. I interviewed E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher, and I put out clips online. So with that got people interested in wanting to say, oh wow, like I want to learn more about speaking. I want to become a motivational speaker. What do I need to do? What does that look like? So I post content like that. I also like to post content, right? So far we got educational based content, or training, you can call it training based content. We got interviews, where now it's more than one person interviewing. Other types of content I like to post is family content, personal content, because people need to learn to work with you. People join coaching programs too. People join coaching programs, but people want to coach. You feel what I'm saying? Like people, they want to know that they can vibe with a coach that they can relate with. They want to vibe with a coach. Sometimes it's a coach that look like them, right? I've literally had clients that was like, yo, honestly, like, yo, you know, like your message is powerful, and the fact that you one of us, like you black, I'm rocking with you, right? And so I'm being real that sometimes, you know, that's why people gravitate towards you. So they have their own biases and different things. But for me, I had a guy today that I spoke to, and he wasn't even a client, but one of the things that he said was because I asked him, I like to ask, like, what attracted me to you? What did you see from what I'm doing, my content? And he was like, well, I was looking through all of your Instagram content, and he said, I saw that you're a father. He said, I like that. He said, I saw that you're a man of God. I like that. He said, I saw that you're authentic. I like that. He said, I saw that, like, you give real valuable information, and you don't give fluff. He's like, you give real tactical things that actually really that's really helpful, and I can tell you really know about this craft. And I'm like, I love that, because that's the way that I want to come across, right? That's the way that I want my brain to come across. So that's what I put in my content. And so just doing that was just confirmation that, okay, the way that I'm putting myself out in the marketplace is the way that I want to be perceived in the marketplace. Does that make sense? But it's certain things that you need to add as part of your content that's also that's gonna attract people in different ways, because people are gonna be attracted to you in different ways. So you have to put out different types of content. You have to put out different types of messaging. Does that make sense? If that makes sense, go ahead and put "makes sense" in the chat, because this is key. Jesse, hey, good to see you. So that's key. Now, with that, it's also gonna come down to what other types of content. So I like to post quotes. Put these in the chat. I like quotes as well. So quotes are something easy, right? You see a lot of people posting quotes. The thing about quotes are, it might give some people some ahas. It may give some people saying, oh, wow, that's interesting. You might even get a lot of likes on a post, on a quote. Now, that's good, because people see you're talking about and inspiring them with a quote, but that may not necessarily make somebody want to work with you, because there's a lot of people that all they do is post quotes all day and they don't have clients. So a lot of people post quotes all day and they're not generating any income. So video is definitely a huge piece of it, but in terms of just creating content that's desirable and makes people want it, quotes are a good thing to use. Memes are a good thing to use. So memes, it can be anything funny. Typically, you find memes that are funny with some words across the top, or the words across the bottom, or the words on the actual photo, or maybe you might see a GIF, right? Some words across the top as a title or on top of it. So you can do that. So those are just some types of content that you can use. And I would rotate them. I would do that. So if you look at my content, you see that there's a few key pieces of content. You typically see me speaking directly to the camera, right? A lot of times you might see me in my office with this in my background. You might see me writing on a whiteboard, right? So on some of my content, I like to write on my whiteboard, right? So that's another piece of content that I use, that I do. So you might see me write on that. You might see me write on my actual board, right? So y'all can't see it, my Instagram fam, right? So you might actually see me write on my board. So that might just be another piece of content. Now, all of that will fall under teaching and training. However, I engage it in different ways. I might write on some construction paper, right? And for my, for y'all too, look, y'all see my board sometimes too, right? So I might show that. You know what I mean? So these are just different ways that I create content. You could do lifestyle content. That's really key. So these are just the different things. And when I say lifestyle, that means if you're out somewhere, if you're at a restaurant, if you're out with the family, if you're traveling somewhere, if you're somewhere cool, if you go to a museum, right? Show people behind the scenes of what your lifestyle is like, and that's going to be key for them to because you want them to desire what you have or what you're doing at some point. You want them to admire what you have, what you're doing at some point. And with it, I'm going to tell you an easy way to be consistent. You need to pick one time per week that you create content. The reason why a lot of people fall off content, and if that's you, I want you to put that's me. The reason people are not consistent with content is because they feel like they have to find time every day to create content. And between your job, between your wife or your husband, between the kids, between having to do the dishes, between having to do the laundry, between having to take out the garbage, between you being tired after work, between you getting a bite to eat, between you just wanting to relax and watch Netflix, between all of the things that you need to do in your obligations, you say, I have to find time to do content. I can't find time to do content. And then when you think about content, you don't even know what to post. So that puts another layer of complexity and another obstacle in your way. So between you feeling like you don't have time in the first place and the fact that you don't even know what to post, that's enough friction. Put friction in the chat. That's enough friction where it'll stop you from actually posting. And because